ontology and coaching deal with the being of a person. And ontology is nothing but studying the nature of being. And coaching is all about the being of the coach. Actually, ontology, if you truly ask, is a methodology of studying something, studying the being of something, studying the existentialism of something, in the sense, why does something really exist in the way it exists? And so when we are looking at the being of a coach, it really becomes extremely relevant. Share an example which I think all of us may be able to connect with. Before the Uber kind of thing, before the Google Map and before the GPS kind of thing that was available in vehicles, if you were to ask a driver that I need to reach the railway station, I'm likely to miss my train if I cannot reach in the next 30 minutes, it's extremely important that I get the train, and the driver would say, don't worry, just sit down. I know how to take you there. And he doesn't have a GPS, he doesn't have a map, he has nothing, but he has the knowledge of really how to navigate through the city at that point in time, exactly at that particular hour, and take you and help you, drop you off in the railway station. That's because he connects with the roads, he connects with the space in a way which today's Uber drivers will not be able to do if you take the map off. Like if you were to go to an Uber driver and say, hey, I want to reach the station in the next half an hour, and he says, I'll take you there, and the map is indicating a shortcut or the fastest route, and suddenly you take the map off, take that information off, the driver is lost. The driver is going to say, I'm sorry, I can't do anything now. Can you guide me on your GPS as to how to reach the station? So there's a difference between how information plays a certain role in our life, and how, when you're not coming from information, but you're coming from a connection to that space, then it operates in a very different, at a very different. I'm reminded of the quote which Bill O'Brien, we find it in Theory U. He says that the success of an intervention depends on the interior condition of the intervener. That's the main criteria. And what we are really doing over here in this space of ontological approach to coaching competencies or coaching skill sets is that we are really opening up that space of the coach, in this case the intervener, the coach itself. And then after that, what becomes possible is huge, because irrespective of whether it's a one-on-one coaching or whether it's a team coaching or whether it's a systemic coaching, it is the quality of the kind of a space that I bring into that process, and that becomes hugely possible, hugely expanded, hugely deep. That is what becomes possible when we explore all this through an ontological approach. What we are trying to do is we are trying to help the participants deeply connect with the being of a coach that needs to exist in the relationship between a coach and the client. And once the participant, the coach participant, is able to make that connection, what can be expected is that once the coach participant starts coaching in real life, they are not falling back upon definitions or information or ways of being which they have seen others do, but it is about they automatically, in a very natural way, expressing themselves as a coach without realizing that they're doing it. It becomes possible for the competencies like listening and evoking awareness, etc., to show up where they are without their trying to put it on as a competency that they need to bring into that space. That is what becomes possible when you start exploring things ontologically. I also got a feedback from one of our participants who is presently going through the ontological standalone course. And that was so satisfying to hear, because this person has actually spent a lot of time trying to figure out what are powerful questions, which can be asked in sessions, and how do I, and so having really a question bank, to fall back upon. But what this person shared subsequently was that as he went through the course over the last 2 months, his ability to ask those powerful questions only improved, and he didn't even know when he was asking them. It was only on reflecting later that he was realizing that these questions are powerful, and it came automatically because he was so deeply connected with the space, with the client, with with himself, etc. So that was creating that possibility of this person coming up with those powerful questions without even trying to formulate them. It was just a natural expression which was coming out at that moment. It felt the right thing to ask. So this is how it transforms the coaching process.